listen to Craig Stammen's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, hit hard in the air, deep to left field. Churrio's going back. He turns to watch. This one gonna go! Luis Rengifo, his first career grand slam, and it puts the Pods ahead 5-0 here in the second.
A little bit of revenge for Luis Rengifo as he leads the way. The Padres beat up on the Milwaukee Brewers tonight by a final score of 11-2. The Padres have won 4 in a row, and they've taken the first 2 games of this 3-game series against the team with the best record in all of baseball. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show here tonight. The Padres continue to play a tremendous brand of baseball all the way around. Luis Rengifo, a grand slam in the second inning, part of a 5-run second as the Padres took a 5-0 lead. Padres would hit 2 more home runs in the game. Fernando Tatis Jr., a solo shot later in the game, his 12th of the season. Luis Campusano, a 2-run shot later in the game. The Padres pounding out 11 runs on 17 hits and tagging Brewer left-hander Kyle Harrison, who came in with a sub-3 ERA for 8 runs on 10 hits in this game, as the Padres have made a pretty nice statement the first 2 games of this 3-game series, and they'll go for a sweep tomorrow afternoon here in downtown San Diego. What a moment for Luis Rengifo. DFA'd by the Brewers earlier this year. He's been a big contributor since showing up in San Diego. I caught up with Luis on the field moments ago.
Luis, that team on the other side, they let you go earlier this year. Describe to me the emotion of hitting that grand slam against them tonight.
No, it means a lot, being here with the Padres, come back to the big leagues and make a homer with the team I play, but a lot of respect with those guys, and, it's a game.
Luis, you've been so productive since you've arrived in San Diego. What's been the key for you since coming here when you compare what went on earlier in the season?
Being with the guys, they got good culture here. So for me, it's more easily to click with those guys, and go there, play hard, and be productive for the team. That's the most important thing.
Your former teammate Kyle Harrison, that's a good left-handed pitcher. This offense was all over him tonight. What was the key collectively for the offense hitting him the way you did tonight?
We got a plan. So we have to continue to be productive with the team. Everybody knows what we're gonna be doing in the game, and
14-4 in your last 18 games. It feels like, looking from the outside, that this team is starting to gain momentum, starting to pick up steam. Does it feel that way inside that dugout right now?
Oh, yeah. So we have to continue to stay together every single time, one game at a time, and we want to win every day. So
finally, Luis, 50th sellout of the season here at Petco Park tonight. This place is packed each and every game. What's it been like for you to play in front of these fans?
No, it means a lot. The crowd here is incredible. So all the time when we go out, so we can see that they're loud, they support you, and that's amazing. Yeah.
Luis, great swing, great moment, great win.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
No, thank you.
That was Luis Rengifo, a big swing, a grand slam in the second inning, and the Padres never look back in this one as they beat the Brewers by a final score of 11-2. Our postgame coverage, as always, brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, with epic SoCal views, a full bar and poolside bites. Starlight Pool at Jamul Casino Resort is pool season perfected, and day passes are available. Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. We are just getting started on this Tuesday night. The Padres have won 14 of their last 18 games. They've won 4 in a row. They'll have an opportunity to sweep the best team in baseball, certainly entering this series. Brewers still entering today, had the best record in all of baseball. An opportunity to sweep the Brew Crew tomorrow. And the Padres also an opportunity to make it a really good homestand against a couple of really good teams in the Astros and the Brewers. But first things first, we've got a lot to do in our postgame coverage. When we come back, all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padre manager Craig Stammen coming up a little bit later as well. Padres win it here tonight. They win big, 11-2 over Milwaukee. We're back after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Nothing goes better with
Back here at Petco Park on this Tuesday night. Final score here tonight, Padres 11 and the Brewers 2, as the Padres have won the first two games of this three-game series against Milwaukee. Padres will go for a series sweep tomorrow against a team with the best record in all of baseball. They will send left-hander Robbie Ray to the mound tomorrow in his second start as a Padre, and I'll tell you right now, we will hear from Robbie Ray on tomorrow's pregame show. We'll have a one-on-one conversation with Robbie, so that'll be something to look forward to in the pregame tomorrow, but still a lot to get to on our postgame coverage here tonight, our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. We'll hear from Craig Stammen coming up a little bit later. We also will take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, although I'll spoil a little bit of it for you right now, and for good reason. Padres got two really nice results on the out-of-town scoreboard here tonight. Rockies beat the D-backs 3-2, and the Cardinals beat the Phillies 2-0 in St. Louis. So, good day for the Padres. Padres win, D-backs lose, and the Phillies lose as well. So, at the end of tonight, here's how it looks in the wild card standings as the Padres pick up a game on both teams. Padres now sitting at a record of 64-57. Arizona at a record of 64-57. The Phillies at a record of 64-57. So all three teams now, Arizona, San Diego, and Philadelphia, all sitting with an identical record. Now, as you know, Phillies own the tiebreaker between the Padres and Phillies. So technically the Padres, however you want to think about it, they're a half game behind Philly. Again, however you want to think about it in your head. But if the season ended today and you had the same record, well, the Phillies win the tiebreaker. Now with Arizona, as we know, that tiebreaker yet to be determined. But reality is, I think here on August 11th, to be honest with you, we've got a long way to go, 40 plus games to go. Bottom line, you just want to pick up ground and create separation once you get into a tie scenario, which the Padres are in now. So let's see if the Padres can jump ahead of at least one of these teams tomorrow. But good day for the Padres. They pick up a game on both Arizona and Philadelphia. So a lot of good stuff on this Tuesday night to talk about. Let's recap this one. How it went down tonight in San Diego from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Right-hander Walker Buehler on the mound for the Padres tonight. He tossed a scoreless top of the first inning. Brewers starter Kyle Harrison did the same in the bottom half of the first inning. After Buehler pitched a 1-2-3 second, the Padres rallied in the bottom half of the inning. There were 2 on and nobody out for Luis Campusano. He hit a ground ball to third. The Brewers got the force out at third, but a low throw to second wasn't handled cleanly by Ji-Hwan Bae, so the Brewers only got 1 out. You very well could argue they should have at least gotten 2 outs on that play. And I'll tell you what, a better throw to second with Campusano going down the line, and you saw it in real time from where I was sitting. I think they had a chance at a triple play if that is turned cleanly, but it wasn't. So instead of even 2 outs, only 1 out on that play. With 2 on and 2 out, it was Jake Cronenworth at the plate.
And Cronenworth hits it on a line the other way. That's a fair ball up the third base side, kicks off the side wall. First run will come in to score as Hayes crosses the plate, and Cronenworth into second with an RBI double. It's 1-0.
So an early Padre lead. Fernando Tatis Jr. then dug in. The count went to 3-2 on the payoff pitch. Tatis struck out looking, but then he challenged the strike 3 call. It was overturned into ball 4. So instead of the inning being over, the bases were loaded for a guy who got released by the Brewers earlier this season. That was Luis Rengifo.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, hit hard in the air, deep to left field. Churrio's going back. He turns to watch. This one's gonna go! Luis Rengifo, his first career grand slam, and it puts the Pods ahead 5-0 here in the second.
A little bit of Rengifo revenge. Padres tagging Harrison for 5 runs in the second. San Diego at a 5-0 lead. Brewers got a run back in the top of the third. An RBI ground out from Jackson Chourio. That made it 5-1. But Padres extended it once again quickly. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Fernando Tatis Jr. led off.
Fernando swings at the first pitch, hits it in the air, deep to right. Lars back at the wall. This one gonna go! Number 12 for Fernando Tatis Jr. A lead shot in the 4th inning. Padres get their second of the night, and it's 6-1.
Not only his 12th home run of the season, career home run number 164 for Fernando Tatis Jr. That moves him into second all-time on the home run list by a Padre in their career, passing Nate Colbert on the franchise all-time home run list. So the top 2 on the all-time home run list now, number 1, Manny Machado, number 2, Fernando Tatis Jr., number 164 on the career for Fernando. Let's go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Harrison still on the mound. The Padres leading 6-1. There was a runner on base for Luis Campusano.
Campusano swings, hits it in the air, deep to left field, way back. This one gonna go! Luis Campusano hits the Padres' 3rd home run of the night. It's a 2-run blast, and 8-1 here in the 5th.
As we said earlier, left-hander Kyle Harrison came in with a sub-3 ERA. In fact, he had allowed more than 3 earned runs just 1 time all season long. Guess what? Harrison gave up 8 earned runs in just 4 2/3 innings, including the 3 home runs allowed to Rengifo, Tatis, and Campusano. Let's talk a little Padre pitching here. Walker Buehler was great tonight. 6 innings, 1 run allowed, 3 hits, 98 pitches. Padres offense gave him an early lead, and Buehler took care of it. But the Padres offense was not done in this one. Kept it rolling against right-hander Bryce Wilson in the 6th inning. There were 2 on for Mr. Jackson Merrill.
Runners lead, not going, and a 3-2 pitch ripped on a line into right field, a base hit. Machado being waved at third. He'll come in to score easily. France held at third. Merrill into second with an RBI double, and it's 9-1 here in the 6th.
Padres made it 10-1 on an Austin Hayes ground out. RBI for Hayes. They weren't done. Next up, Luis Campusano.
1-2 now, and Campusano hits it on a line left side. Diving attempt, Turan can't get there. Merrill racing around third. Lockridge's throw is over Contreras' head. It's 11-1 as Campusano takes second on the wild throw.
Padres bats rocking and rolling. 5 runs in the second, 1 in the 4th inning, 2 in the 5th inning, 3 in the 6th inning, an 11-1 lead through 6 innings here tonight. Buehler was done after 6. Wandy Peralta is scoreless 7th inning. Griffin Canning is scoreless 8th inning. Canning would give up a run in the top of the 9th inning, but no big deal. Final score here tonight. Padres 11 and the Brewers 2. 11 runs on 17 hits, no errors for San Diego. Milwaukee 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Padres improved to 64 and 57. Brewers dropped to 74 and 46. Walker Buehler, well-deserved win here tonight. 6 strong innings, quality outing. He improves to 7 and 5, and Kyle Harrison takes the loss. He's now 9 and 3. And oh, by the way, the 50th sellout of the season here at Petco Park tonight. More than 40,000 in the building, more than 40,500 in the building. So quite an accomplishment here in early mid-August to hit 50 sellouts in this building here in 2026. When we come back, we'll hear from Padre manager Craig Stammen. Again, the Padres win it here tonight, 11-2 against the Brew Crew. Padres are rolling. We continue after this.
You're listening to
Doesn't winning baseball feel good, San Diego? Padres win it here tonight, 11-2 against the Milwaukee Brewers as the Padres keep it rolling. They have won 4 in a row. They've secured a series win against the Brew Crew, and the Padres will go for a series sweep to finish up this homestand tomorrow. Much more on tomorrow's game coming up a little bit later. Padres have also won 14 of their last 18 games, and with the results Tonight with the Phillies and the D-backs, both those teams losing, well, the Padres now tied with Philadelphia and Arizona for one of the two final wild card spots in the National League. Yes, we have a long way to go. It is still, even though we're coming down the home stretch, it is still only August 11th, but the Padres do pick up ground on both Arizona and Philadelphia here tonight. Sam Levitt with you inside Petco Park as we continue our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. We'll head downstairs here from Craig Stammen in just a second. I do want to just talk about, before we hear from Craig, the bottom half of the second in particular, because that is where this game was won from a Padres standpoint, really where the game changed in a massive way. And again, I mean, the Padres were facing a really quality left-handed pitcher in Kyle Harrison here tonight. To give you an idea of how good Harrison has been this season, he came in a sub-3 ERA. He strikes out a lot of people. He does not walk many at all. Even after tonight, he's got 114 strikeouts and 24 walks. Came in again, a 2.84 ERA. And this is really, to me, what tells the story. Entering tonight, he had one outing this season where he gave up more than 3 runs. Now, the one outing where it happened, of all places, it was in Sacramento, which is such a hitter-friendly environment. So I almost, take it with a grain of salt. Gave up 8 runs. But again, let me put that to the side for a second because it was in Sacramento and it was by far the outlier this season. Aside from that game, Harrison had not allowed more than 3 earned runs all year. And he comes to town tonight and the Padres were on him. They were on him. I mean, look at the second inning. Now, I think the second inning was fascinating in so many ways. There were so many different little things that had to come together, that had to go the Padres' way in that second inning. The first of which was the Padres get 2 on with nobody out. Merrill singles, Hayes singles, so they've got a rally going. But then Luis Campusano hits a ground ball to third base to David Hamilton. That was a play where the Brewers got to get at least 2 outs. And I'll tell you what, looking from up top, if Hamilton makes a better throw to Bay at second base, if that's a good, strong throw, they had a legitimate chance at a triple play. But, who knows? I'm not going to assume a triple play of all things. But I'm telling you, watching it, if that's a good throw to second base, they got a shot at a triple play to get Campusano at first base. But it was a play, make no mistake, where they got to get 2 outs. You have to get 2 outs on that play. Hamilton hits third. He doesn't make a good throw to Bay at second base. Now, Bay, you can make the argument he probably should have caught it, hung on to it. He couldn't. It was not a great throw. Padres aren't going to complain about any of it. Bay can't catch it cleanly. So instead of 2 out and let's say a runner on first base, there are still runners on first and second with 1 out. So that was little thing number 1 that had to go right in that second inning to transpire the way it did. The other thing, there are 2 outs, runners on first and second, Jake Cronenworth at the plate against, again, a really, really tough lefty in Kyle Harrison. Cronenworth falls behind 0-2. He battles back to make it 2-2, and then he shoots one just inside the chalk down the left field line. Ends up being an RBI double, gives the Padres a 1-0 lead. Again, Jake was down 0-2 in that count, and he just found fair territory for an RBI double. After that, 2 on, 2 out. Fernando Tatis Jr. has a 3-2 count against Harrison. Gets a called strike 3 against him, a pitch that looks inside. Fernando, who has been all year extremely selective, extremely hesitant to use his ABS challenges, probably more so than anybody on this team. Fernando has not been the guy to use them frequently and just, willy-nilly. I mean, he barely uses them. Fernando decides this time he's going to challenge. Pitch is clearly inside. Instead of strike 3 in the inning being over, it's a walk. Bases loaded, and then bang, next batter, Rengifo, grand slam. The Padres needed a lot of little things to go right in that second inning. They needed the bad throw by Hamilton. They needed Bay not catching a bad throw that was probably fairly catchable to begin with. They needed Cronenworth battling back from 0-2 and just getting one inside the chalk. They needed Fernando electing to challenge and Fernando being right about the challenge, which ain't so easy to do, as we know, as we've seen all year with these challenges. That all led to Rengifo's swing, which was the swing of the game, and changed the entire dynamic of this game. And the Padres never look back here tonight. So it really was one of those really fascinating innings where there were a lot of little things, a lot of little elements that played in to the crescendo of the inning, which was the Rengifo grand slam. And then after that, the Padres just kept on going against Harrison. Tatis's home run in the 4th inning, Campusano's home run in the 5th inning, and the Padres put up an 8 spot on this really good left-hander, Kyle Harrison. And again, Walker Buehler tonight, don't forget about him. He was great, 6 innings, 1 run given up, got an early lead, a big lead, and he ran with it. So all the way around, I mean, you look at these games right now, the Padres are playing Sunday against the Astros. The 7-2 win was so complete. You look at the win against the Astros on Saturday, you know, where Michael King's great, well-pitched game, really complete. The game yesterday, the Merrill home run felt really complete. Here today again, another complete win. And I thought Jesse and Tony, and again, we'll hear from Craig in a second. I don't mean to, go on and on here before we hear from Craig. But I thought Jesse and Tony had a good discussion early in tonight's game. You know, so often this season, we talked about when the Padres were not playing great, it just felt like nothing was matching up. When the hitting was good, the pitching wasn't good. When the pitching was good, the hitting wasn't good. And it just felt like they were not clicking on all cylinders for 2.5 months. But you're seeing a ton of games right now in a stretch where it really feels like this team is clicking all at once. They are firing on all cylinders. The starting pitching has been good. The offense has been terrific. This has been a renaissance offensively. We talked about it pregame. I mean, this was one of the worst offensive units in baseball in a lot of metrics before July. And they've been one of the best since July 1st. This has been a renaissance offensively. And then you got what I think is still the strength of your team, and that is this electric, reliable bullpen. And tonight, and right now with the way they're playing, they are just clicking. I mean, they're clicking as one team, all 3 units, offense, starting, pitching, bullpen. They're rolling. So when you have a team doing what they're doing right now, A, it leads to a lot of winning baseball, and B, it's a lot of fun. I mean, look, I don't, and I tweeted this out earlier. Look, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Don't want to put the cart before the horse. When I tweeted this out, they were still on the outside looking in as far as the NL playoff picture. And even with all the winning they've done, they are still only tied for playoff spots right now, okay? They've done a lot of winning. But they're playing a brand of baseball, and the guys contributing are so significant that if I'm the rest of Major League Baseball, I am worried about the San Diego Padres. I am. If their offense is going to perform like this and they can get good enough starting pitching with that bullpen, if they're starting to feel it, if they're starting to really get it rolling into a wonderful second half, look out. Look out. I think you were talking about a ceiling for this team that is quite different than where it was a month and a half ago. With all that in mind, let's go downstairs, hear from the Padre manager, Craig Stammen.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
So you're probably putting together your most complete games like in a stretch here. And at this point in the season, obviously a good time. Like, how did you guys get here? And like, what does it say that you're doing it now?
Yeah, we just kept staying at it. You know, we kept a good process, a good positive attitude, stayed optimistic, and, you know, relied on our hard work. And, you know, that's kind of led us to this point where we just kept at it. And we finally hit a good stretch where we've been playing really well. You know, it came in a stretch where we're playing 26 out of 27 in a tough stretch physically for these guys, but mentally they've been locked in.
What did you think of Walker tonight, and how did the fact that you were able to leave him in, where sometimes maybe spend like one run or two runs and you haven't been able to?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the way he was throwing the ball. I mean, I think he gave up 3 hits, and 2 of them were infield hits. One was off the base that, just an awkward play. So he really threw the ball well tonight, located his 2-seamer in on those lefties, handled the lefties, better than he has maybe all year against left-handed hitters. So just one of the best outings he's had as a Padre, and it's a good sign going forward.
What'd you make of that moment for Rengifo against his former team, obviously coming through in a big spot? What did you just kind of think of?
Yeah, we always talk internally about how there's always a lot of revenge against the Padres, and sometimes it's nice to have somebody that was from another team inflict that same kind of damage on somebody else. But Louis been great since we've got him, and he's come up with a few big hits, and that was one of the biggest that he's had.
So you guys noticed that too.
There happens to be a lot of former Padres in the major leagues.
How can you just quantify what he's meant for this group to kind of come in and provide the versatility, the spark, the way he plays, all of that?
Yeah, he came along right at the right time. We just needed that little spark and that little bit of energy, and then he had a hot bat too. So, all those things together add up into somebody that's, helped keep the positive attitude, keep the energy going, and allowed us to go on a hot streak. And he's one of those guys that's really helped, along the way in that.
Tatis's homer tonight puts him second all time in the franchise leaderboard. It's Manny and Tatis, and you've been here for pretty much all of that. Like, what do you kind of make of what that maybe says about the organization, that those two guys are now 1-2 on the Padres all-time list?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think, when AJ signed them, that's what he probably envisioned, is those guys having long-term success in San Diego and being at the top of that home run list. And those guys Tatis keeps getting better. Manny keeps getting and aging really well and getting better. And, those guys have carried this franchise for a long time. It turned it into, where there was, 25,000 fans showing up a night to now there's 40,000 fans every night. And those two guys are a big part of that.
There's a 3-way tie for those last 2 wild card spots. What does that make you think of them?
We can't control what those guys do. We're done playing the Phillies. We still got some games against the Diamondbacks at the very end of the season. I'm going to anticipate those mattering quite a bit. But until then, all we can do is play our game and control our destiny, which is the stock answer, but it's the truth too. I like the way that we're playing, and I think, we keep playing like this. Our chances are good. We can't control how well those guys play, though.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 11-2 win against the Brewers here tonight. Sam Levitt back with you inside the Western Metal Building at Petco Park on our postgame coverage, as always, brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. Let me help Craig out there for a second. The Padres keep playing like this, the way they're playing right now, they will be a postseason team. They keep playing like this, they will be there at the end. Now, the key is going to be, this is going to be a race that I think comes down to the wire. There's not going to be a ton of room to stumble, I don't think. I think the Diamondbacks are going to continue to play pretty well. I think the Phillies are going to continue to play well. I think those are 2 good teams. And who knows? We've got a ways to go here. You could see another team surge and get into the mix here for one of these 2 spots. But if the Padres continue to play the way they're playing right now, I think this team will be there. At the end, I do. I find it very hard to believe they will not. If they keep playing like this. Now, the pace they're on, 14-4 in their last 18, this offensive pace, all of it, it's going to be hard to keep up for 40-plus games, but they'll be there at the end. I do want to give you one little note here about Walker Buehler's outing, just to give you an idea of how good Walker was today against a good Brewer team, a great Brewer team that still has the best record in all of baseball. This was from Kurt Hogg on X, the Brewers beat reporter for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Thought he had a really good little note here that kind of describes how good Walker was tonight. Kurt Hogg tweeting, Xing, whatever the terminology is these days, posting. The Brewers had an 80.4 mile per hour average exit velocity against Walker Buehler today. That's their second lowest average exit velocity against the starter in any game all year, and the lowest since opening day. If you watch this game, you did notice that there was, when the Brewers had hits, when they put the ball in play, it was weak contact. It's not like Walker Buehler gave up a lot of hits at all. He gave up 3 in 6 innings, but the contact was weak. So Buehler was great tonight against a good team. Really good. Really good. 6 strong innings. And again, I thought the quality of contact really weak, and the numbers bear it out. So great outing by Buehler. Great day for the Padres offense. Great day all around. When we come back, we'll get into our daily awards. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up a little bit later as well. If you want to squeeze a phone call in before we head out of here tonight, 833-288-0973. The phone number, again, 833-288-0973. The phone number to call. Final score here tonight, Padres 11 and the Brewers 2 on the Padres Radio Network.
Jack Murphy believes.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. The Padres win it here tonight by a final score of 11-2. I do want to give a special shout out to one of our most loyal listeners. That is Tyler Dela Cruz. Who listens all the time, who is such an incredibly nice, thoughtful young man. Had a chance to go see Tyler tonight down in Section 117 with his family. And I've met Tyler before. I've met his parents before. And just a tremendous conversation with Tyler, who is such a big fan, such a big listener to what we do on Padres Radio. Tyler, it was great to see you, as always. Hope you had a great time at the game here tonight. Quite the win. And as always, thank you so much for listening and for your support. Great seeing you tonight. A big shout out to Tyler Dela Cruz. Hopefully he's listening right now. I said I'd wait until kind of the second half of our post-game show so him and his family could get in the car. So, Tyler, I hope you're listening right now. Mom, Heidi, if you want the audio from this, let me know on Instagram. I'll be happy to send it along just in case you missed it. But Tyler, shout out to you. Thank you so much, as always, for your support. Final score here tonight, Padres 11 and the Brewers 2. Let's tell you about tonight's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Relief pitcher of the game here tonight. We have two options on the Padres side of things. We got Wandy Peralta, who pitched the scoreless 7th inning. Griffin Canning pitching 2 innings tonight, did give up a run in the 9th inning. So we'll give it to Wandy. Lone scoreless appearance for a Padres reliever here tonight. Padres at that point did have a very, very big lead. So Wandy Peralta, who continues to have a really solid season, tonight's relief pitcher of the game. Let's take a look at the Padres' heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order, presented by Palomar Health Medical Group.
Heart of the order here tonight, productive. Manny Machado, 3 hits tonight out of the number 3 spot with a run scored. Ty France, 2 hits tonight with a run scored. And Jackson Merrill, 2 hits, including an RBI double in this game and a run scored. So all in all, for the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Manny 3 hits, France 3 hits, Merrill 3 hits. So that's a grand total of 7 hits. Lone RBI for Merrill and 3 runs scored between the 3. So a very, very productive night for the heart of the order. Manny, Ty France, and Jackson Merrill, and combined 11 runs on 17 hits for the Padres offense tonight. Another benefit of tonight's game, and you know what? It's a nice little thing you can do when the game is out of reach. Tatis came out of the game a little early, got him off his feet. Same thing with Manny, same thing with Merrill. And over the course of a long season and a tough stretch of games out of the All-Star break, not a bad thing to get guys a little bit of time off their feet. And that was a product of the Padres being up big here tonight. When we come back, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game, and so we'll wrap things up, get you ready for tomorrow's series finale against the Brew Crew. That comes your way after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Stay tuned to the home.
Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here tonight, Padres 11 and the Brewers 2. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. Padres have won 4 in a row, 14 of their last 18 games. And tomorrow afternoon, little Wednesday matinee here at Petco Park. Padres will go for a 3-game sweep of the Brew Crew. We'll talk more about tomorrow's game in just a little bit. We'll also hear from Luis Rengifo one more time before we head out of here. Luis getting to his old team here tonight. Talk more about that in a moment as well. But right now, let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Tuesday. Everything has gone final. All 30 teams in action here tonight. Tigers beat the Guardians 6-4 in Detroit. Chase the Lauder, Joe Adell hitting home runs in that game for Cleveland, but not enough as the Tigers win it 6-4. Marlins beat the Pirates 2-0 in Miami. Eury Perez threw 7 shutout innings in that game for the win. Cubs beat the Nationals 8-6 in D.C. Pete Crow Armstrong, his 27th home run of the season in that one. Alex Bregman, Seiya Suzuki also going deep for the Cubbies today in D.C. Yankees beat the Mariners 4-1 in New York. Ryan McMahon, a go-ahead 2-run single in the 7th inning. Randy Rosarena providing the lone run with a solo home run for Seattle tonight. Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 5-3 in Toronto. Braves beat the Mets 4-0 in Atlanta. Matt Olson, 35th home run of the season in that one. Ozzie Albies, his 20th of the year. Orioles beat the Twins 5-2 in Minnesota. Pete Alonso, Gunnar Henderson, Christian Encarnacion Strand all going deep today for Baltimore. Reds beat the White Sox 5-4 in 10. The Reds came back from down 4 runs in that game to win it. Ellie De La Cruz, the go-ahead sacrifice fly in the 10th inning. Cardinals beat the Phillies 2-0 in St. Louis. Everson Pereira, home run in that game for St. Louis. Andre Palance, 6 scoreless innings in that Cardinal win. Angels beat the Rangers in Anaheim 3-2, despite a home run for Jock Peterson in that game for Texas, his 22nd of the season. Rockies beat the D-backs. And now, 3-2 in Arizona. Mickey Moniak, go-ahead sac fly in the 7th inning, putting the Rockies ahead for good. Rays beat the A's in Sacramento 12-4. 2 home runs in that game for Taylor Walls. 6 home runs in the game for the Rays. Junior Caminero, his 35th of the season. Yandy Diaz, Victor Mesa Jr., and Carson Williams all going deep for Tampa Bay. Giants beat the Astros 4-1 in San Francisco. Bryce Eldridge, home run in that game for the Giants. And finally, Dodgers beat the Royals in 10, 5-4 in LA. Max Muncy, a walk-off single in the 10th inning. Blake Snell on the mound for the Dodgers. In that one, he struck out 10 batters over 6 innings here tonight. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Tuesday. Well, the final score here tonight in San Diego, Padres 11 and the Brewers 2. We detailed earlier all the little things that led up to the moment where Luis Rengifo stepped in. The Padres a 1-0 lead. Bases were loaded for Rengifo against Brewer left-hander Kyle Harrison. And remember, Rengifo DFA'd, released by Milwaukee just earlier this season. Well, Rengifo had his revenge. Our play of the game.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, hit hard in the air, deep to left field. Churrio's going back. He turns to watch. This one gonna go! Luis Rengifo, his first career grand slam, and it puts the Pods ahead 5-0 here in the second.
Luis Rengifo, our play of tonight's game. The Grand Slam, his first career Grand Slam against the team that released him earlier in the season, no less, gave the Padres a 5-0 lead, and they would go on to cruise the first of 3 home runs hit by the Padres in this 11-2 win here tonight. I caught up with Luis on the field right after tonight's win.
Luis, that team on the other side, they let you go earlier this year. Describe to me the emotion of hitting that Grand Slam against them tonight.
No, it means a lot. Be here with the Padres, come back to the big leagues and make a homer with the team I play. But a lot of respect with those guys, and, it's a game.
Luis, you've been so productive since you've arrived in San Diego. What's been the key for you since coming here when you compare what went on earlier in the season?
Being with the guys, they got good culture here. So for me, it's more easily to click with those guys, and go there, play hard, and be productive for the team. That's the most important thing.
Your former teammate Kyle Harrison, that's a good left-handed pitcher. This offense was all over him tonight. What was the key collectively for the offense hitting him the way you did tonight?
We got a plan. So we have to continue to be productive with the team. Everybody knows what we're gonna be doing in the game, and
14-4 in your last 18 games. It feels like, looking from the outside, that this team is starting to gain momentum, starting to pick up steam. Does it feel that way inside that dugout right now?
Oh, yeah. So we have to continue to stay together every single time, one game at a time, and we want to win every day. So
finally, Luis, 50th sellout of the season here at Petco Park tonight. This place is packed each and every game. What's it been like for you to play in front of these fans?
No, it means a lot. The crowd here is incredible. So all the time when we go out, so we can see that they're loud, they support you, and that's amazing. Yeah.
Luis, great swing, great moment, great win.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
No, thank you.
That was Luis Rengifo just moments after tonight's 11-2 win. All right, what's in store for tomorrow? Well, we're going to find out. We know when we're playing tomorrow. Padres and the Brewers, little Wednesday matinee to finish up this series. And this homestand, Padres will hope to complete a 3-game sweep of Milwaukee. First pitch tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 12:10. Right-hander Dustin May, who pitched very well against the Padres earlier this season, albeit in another uniform, in a Cardinal uniform. He will take the mound for the Brewers. Brewers traded for him at the deadline, and left-hander Robbie Ray will make his second start as a Padre. Again, first pitch tomorrow at 1:10 p.m., and I'll tell you will hear a conversation with Robbie Ray on our pregame coverage tomorrow. As always, if you missed any portion of our postgame coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the free Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our postgame coverage there as well. A look at the final totals here tonight for the Padres. 11 runs, 17 hits, no errors. They left on 9. For Milwaukee, 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. They left on 9 as well. Winning pitcher tonight, Walker Buehler, who improves to 7-5. Losing pitcher, Kyle Harrison, who drops to 9-3. Time of game tonight, 2 hours, 31 minutes, and the crowd at Petco Park. How about this? The 50th sellout of the season here in 2026. Congratulations to Padres fans. You continue to pack this place each and every night. The crowd here tonight at Petco Park, 40,534. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. Pregame coverage begins at 12:10. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from downtown San Diego. Again, the final score here tonight, the San Diego Padres 11 and the Milwaukee Brewers 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.